Greetings everyone, and Grade here of another Age Mythology Replay. Spawn on top right side as the green, I always forget his name, Shennong. We got Dagon, not Dragon, Dagon. Spawn on bottom left side as the red Amaterasu. We got DarkPoney with a lowercase e. Let's see now, when it comes to the major gods, Shennong, probably the god that casts not too often. We do have, he's focused on farming. He does provide some improved farms here. It's a good idea to go with this for early and often, in my opinion. Myth units and healing. Gifts of Beasts, which he will get free myth units every so often. The Gift of Beasts. On favorite land, myth units get a little bit of health regen, increase per age, so get a decent amount of health regen. Farms available in Archaic Age, not important. Build instantly, which is nice when on favorite land. But build instantly is just a little bit ice in the cake, nothing too important. Archaic Age is mostly meant for to help support the Prosperous Seed god power. Irrigation and flood controls are researched instantly for free in the respective ages. That's a big part. You get free farming upgrades, so it's a good idea to go for early farming, especially with Prosperous Seeds. You can probably tailor how many farms you deploy out based on how quickly you deploy out Prosperous Seeds. Of course, over here, no, down here, Amaterasu, which, let's see. Focus on economy and samurai. Earns gold trickle per Bushido tier. At this rate here, 1 per tier. Tries increase the content, the quality of the nearby resources up to 140%, so you can get more gold extracted from a gold mine, for example. Very nice indeed. Have the Miko follow the villagers around to improve the quality. Samurai and Onimushas generate hit points faster in combat and of course provide more experience outside of combat. Very nice to have. She does also provide a Kagura, makes your Miko slightly better. You don't really still want to use Mikos as a combat unit. They're purely meant for favor and healing. They're basically heroic citizens. Heroic villagers. Since Amaterasu is focused on samurai, Shennong may want an eye for some counter infantry tactics. Lightning weapons here give your units a chance of a stun. Yazi is a dragon doggo for sword in its mouth, which teleports. This improves your halberdiers, your counter cavalry units with increased maximum range and more snare against cavalry. Probably not going to be primary focus, since Amaterasu is probably more focused towards samurai. Towards world, you get 50% of destroyed buildings and costs as ward as player, which is nice. It's more of a win more mechanic. Allows you, because it requires you to be aggressive. So I don't think she used a good call. U2, prize earthen wall. You get free walls around a certain location. Konki is a myth unit that can, tiger with wings, rather than pig that can fly. Basically, it's a mixed unit, can fly up, then swoop down and attack. Advanced defenses, sentry tower increases, abundance. You generate drop plus 5% more. That's a very good one there. So abundance is a very good upgrade. And villagers build work rate for buildings and build work for settlements 10%. Not too great there. I'm not too impressed with either one for anti-infantry duty, but probably a whole two primarily for abundance. And over here we do have Ame no Uzume. Because I can't look her up there, it's got to do it from here. Resummons your myth units for free, barring Kasune. You get the Whirlwind Weasel, relatively slow, splash damage, maybe a bit of bleed if I remember correctly. If she gets more hit points, very good for Samurai, so she's probably the better call for Samurai composition. And Mikos generate more favor. She also supports Mikos, but it's more of a minor aspect of her. And of course, increase the radius for the favor generation, which also I think improves the composition radius. Either way, Ame no Uzume is probably the better call for Amaterasu. And over here we do have the Chiyu. Oh, Whirlwind Weasel does slice Yazi. You see a bit of bleed damage there. 12 damage, fast attack speed, so 17 DPS versus 1.2, which is 13.3, 300 health, 40, 25 hack armor versus 40. 4-point movement speed, that's pretty slow. And versus 5.3, which is reasonable. So the Kamamatachis are definitely a good combatant and can be respawned for free. With this one here, this should be deployed out immediately. Does get deployed out well enough, soon enough. And Amaterasu can be highly aggressive with her myth units, because they will be redeployed for free. But will take a bit of time. With these 3 Whirlwind Weasel, that's maybe all the myth units you need. Got a single Kitsune here, will help with the movement speed of the Kamatachis, improving its movement speed up to 5 to match Chariot Archers. Yazi moving around. Sorry, those trees on the minimap may be a bit confused. We got a large number of Naginata riders. The Kitsune should probably have joined them since they had the both same base movement speed. Military camp does get inside of the sentry tower. Does bring the terracotta warriors or riders. Basically a quick summon militia. Definitely something out of Age of Empires 3's books. And this one is getting snared a little bit. And they do have good movement speed as well. 6.5. Perfect for pursuing cavalry whose base speed is 6. Unable to escape with this one. Terracotta riders are disintegrating. Do they end their health at 1 or do they actually die at 0? Can't remember. They do retain 1 health like Age of Empires 3 militia. Here comes the Whirlwind Weasels. Oops. I forgot I still have the hotkeys enabled. I use WASD in order to move around the camera to keep easy tracking. I sort of like this. It's easy to move around the camera from my WSD rather than trying to slam the arrow to the side of it. And then I can keep the cursor tracking. And I really do like this even when playing an RTS rather than just even casting. I think some players don't like that aspect, some players do. It's just more of a me preference, I think, at this point. The Halberdier here. Process Swedes has been summoned on those 2 farms, which I believe that was the first section. Their Prosper Seeds is a pretty cheap god power to resummon. It's at 5 now. That appears to be first 2. Additionally, villagers on the Prosper Seeds are hidden there, so it makes them pretty safe there from raids. Not perfect, but safer. In comparison as well, right now they're collecting at a rate of 0.92 versus the lady who's turned chicken into chicken is only collecting at 0.72. Thinks he also get free economic upgrades. His farms are good right now, especially with the Prosperous Seeds, which also does improve it. Not sure by how much though. Also heals the villager, which is very nice. More halberdiers being employed in the field, very nice. They have 5 movement speed. Does use Divine Shield on that one, very nice. He does retarget another Naginata Rider. Excellent micro there by Green. Of course, the Naginata Riders here in good numbers. And he does have a mythological upgrade to improve the Geek Halberdiers, give them +1 range and more snare. How much does that upgrade cost? Not Machine Workshop, Military Camp. 100, 115. A bit of expense on Favor, but not too terribly expensive. In fact, he can afford it right now. Probably a good idea to go for it. Even if the Halberdiers are not, this one I'm not going to be finding too many cavalry units in the near future. At least a +1 range could be very nice against everything else. Let's see. What should both these players are aging up towards? We got Nuba or Roshu. Or Roshu? Roshu? No idea. Which does provide Fairy Beast, which is a temp or quickly summon basic units that cause poison damage. A unique trade unit as well. I think it's better. I can't remember what's unique about it. Bahu, and provides powerful strikes that sends units flying. I guess sort of like the Battle Boar. Battle Swordsman can increase Pierce Armor, which is very nice to have. Let's see, give infantry units +1 divine damage, and increase their infantry unit bonus damage versus myth units, which can be very nice. Over here, got the Drought, makes buildings destroyable. A pretty weak god power, most likely. Tao Tai gives, sounds like has a instant kill ability. Can't remember off the top of my head. I really don't think I've ever seen her actually selected. This gives your ranged soldiers armor stripping capability, which is very nice for your Chuko news. And as well, he's fighting against Amaterasu, which is going to be more focused samurai, so he's going to probably have range focus there. So this could be a very good upgrade there. It's increased pierce armor, which samurai don't do pierce damage, nor do shinobi. Yeah, I think Nuba may be a little bit better at this moment in time. But it can go either way. Knocking out the riders against good damage on these villagers. Over here we do have Rajin. He has Thunder's Presence, which is a pretty good AoE god power. Den Drums, increasing hit points and life steal on infantry units, which is very nice, particularly to go along for samurai. What was a Henya Mask? The same difference. And another one, yeah, I think it was Den Drums provide reduce the cost of invoking god powers by 25%. Amai no Uzume provides 10% infantry hit points. He provides 25% hit points for infantry units. So definitely going to be seeing some beefy samurai among other things. So Fire Archer is probably a good item to really focus on. Chuko News could be a nice unit there. Warwind Weasel eating the Tao Wu, who is a living siege weapon. We got from the Gift of Beasts. Samurai ripped apart the Halberdiers. Divine Shield on one of the Naginata Riders. Tao Wu getting ripped apart. Miko forward, trying to get some frontline healing. Brain definitely should be eyeing for more fire archers. Halberdiers are barely alive. More fire archers being queued up. Only has a single queue of them going. May want to fix that. Bushido experience really generating pretty quickly due to the number of samurai. 1 experience per second. Times 12. Still has access to these stunning weapons and probably needs to start eyeing to really get process speed seeds going. I think Green should be doing that more often. Additionally, this map just reminds me of the campaign Tug of War map. Really hard. Like, if it's like a green version of it. Sure, it's shaped differently, but it does feel like the Tug of War map. We do have the Rusho there for the Pixu. It's the one I didn't as recommend, not that button. Which does provide the increased pierce armor. Infantry gets divine damage, which is nice. Yeah, I think the other one would be a better call in my opinion. But currently not, it's just queued up, not necessarily being researched at the moment. Over here, we do have the weasels weaseling their way into his opponent's base. Not really, though. Only 2 pioneers here. The halberdiers do take a bit of damage. Another pioneer now deployed in the field. And these guys will be redeployed. Losing them is not a big problem. The current rate may need to get another shrine here. I'm assuming these souls get split up across both of them, because this will take a bit of time to be deployed in the field. Stone wall being researched. And we do actually have Rousseau being researched as well. Tao Wu flanking. We also got another Tao Wu from the Gifts of Beast. Next one is another Tao Wu. So it looks like the Gifts of Beast is just once to give them just Tao Wu. I don't know if there's any set order, but I think they're supposed to be cycling them. I think it's completely random though. Can't say if this is a good or bad spawn. Probably bad since they're living siege weapons and he's not being aggressive enough for it. Got the age up there, so next one will be a Tao Wu. Has to cycle all the way through. Of course, this is the Fey Beast ready to deploy in the field. There's H up there as well from Amaterasu. There's the Fey Beast, voicing all the samurai. Thunderous burst, thundering on in. Of course, this is the initial radius. Next one does reach out to here. These fire archers are going to get hit. Fey Beast getting a good amount of poison damage. Knocks around quite a bit there. Both sides took a lot of damage to the opposing gunpowders. It does feel like red isn't a superior advantage, and not to mention has also nearly twice the value in force in the field. Green may want to be a bit more passive. Though killing off a Miko is a high priority target with no wounded units there, but passing all these units there. Got the Bao Hui fighting on in, knocking around some units there. Does go down though. Yeah. You're correct, red is definitely doing very well. Heavy units been researched for free. Also, Amaterasu is getting a decent amount of gold income. Right now it says 2.5 per second. More samurai, more of the whirlwind reasons being resummoned. Got the levy, fortified towns and bronze shields and plates. Over here got copper shields, ballistics, husbandry. More Kafus, more fire archers. Definitely need to go for more of the fire archers. Let's see. Ballet. Maybe White Horse Cavalry could be nice. Good against ranged soldiers, but maybe not. Heavy Cavalry is good against range and cavalry as well, so neither of them are anti-infantry. Other than fire archers, what anti-infantry duel does the Chinese have again? Here's the military camp. Thou swords in just front line. Cavalry is anti-cavalry. Can't say what composition green should go for. We do have Spoils of War. Get a pillage. Maybe knocking out a riders being pulled in the field. We do have other Bao Hui, however you pronounce it, now being pulled in the field. An exotic kitty cat. A two-tailed kitty cat. Not if it was Japanese, probably some sort of Nekomata, a split-tailed cat. All the depictions I have for Nekomatas are like split-tailed rather than two-tailed, while their description is usually two-tailed. Probably either works. I call it split-tailed because there's like splits at the end, and not necessarily have another whole tail coming from the end of the person. 3 of these guys now being blown in field. Huh. It costs a mix of food and wood. Wait, are all the Chinese Myth units like that? No, just this one. Why does it have a mix of food and wood? That's interesting. Rather than a single cost like any other Myth unit. Samurai now engaging the fire archers, knocking out a riders coming to the flank. Got the cats knocking back these Naginata riders. Fire archers getting hit quite hard. Taking out some of the samurai. More halberdiers being pulled in the field. Naginata riders still problem. Here comes another cat. Great knockback there. Not much of a green force remaining. Got some force up here. Raju, the dog, knocks back some units there. Two-tailed dog versus two-tailed cat. And the one-tailed weasel. Fortress under fire, but no real siege damage there. So this could be safe. Fire just getting some free damage on it. Got another Naginata riders up there. More power waves being put on the field, so had a healthy amount of favor to summon them. Next one is ZQ, which is, I think it's a flying firebird. There it is. Emulating some ground forces, which should be a pretty good myth unit fight against the infantry units, but does get shut down by the Bushis. Large number of power waves here, but being picked off pretty quickly. Samurai still here in good numbers. 117 military population versus just 11. Not sure how Green's going to try to get back in the game. More prosperous seeds. I think he's been going too slow on prosperous seeds. There's also a good number of these goats. Goats, of course, the goat, and they're fully fattened right now. But overall, red is just cleaning up right now. Green still has a town center, which actually nothing about that's not really green, but more of a turquoise. Oh well, or is it mint? And that's not really important at this moment. You also have now champion now deployed in the field. More fire archers, more of the Baowei Zodiac kitty cats. Jumps on in, knocks off some samurai. Of course, right now there's coming piecemeal. Got a massive queue of units going. Not a huge queue, just some queue there. Going for some Dao swordsmen. A samurai, of course, are infantry, get plus 2 damage. And I don't think green can come back. Yeah, I think red should have gone a little bit more heavy in the fire archers. Oh, does get another Zuke. And there's no Bushis here to engage this one. Kafu taking some damage. Of course, the health regen that's coming out from this, able to negate quite a bit of damage it's providing. Got a good number of fire archers over here now, as well as some Dao swordsmen. Looks like red may have claimed some of these goats. Some of them pretty far away. Do have a Baolei there, a fortress, castle. ZQ is flying away, gains a good amount of work done. Fire archers in good enough numbers. But they're starting to get hit. Green's villagers heading back on home. Green still has 90 villagers, there's 99, so not doing too far behind economy. Got more cavalry here, so needs to get out more halberdiers. Has a number of halberdiers at the moment. Dao swordsman could be a good generalist unit to mix on in. And going for a ballet could give him some counter cavalry units there through the entire horse cavalry, which is also one way to counter samurai. Not through bonus damage, but just not receiving bonus damage. Ballet taking quite a bit of damage now. Fire Archer's getting a lot of free damage on in, but their defense is not high, they're anti-infantry. Somehow the Sentry Towers fit 3 of these guys. Well, that's Age of Empires logic. You can put a bunch of elephants into a transport as well. Do now the age up the Japanese player, Kake Mika Zuchi, which can drop a katana. Terracotta Riders can redeploy on the field. Terracotta Riders think are the same as regular cavalry. They at least do have anti-siege and anti-range damage go along with them, but they're not too particularly great at this moment. Maybe a good idea for Amaterasu to mix in Shinobi to counter the Fire Archers. They also have good crush damage. Pioneer's not firing away. Oh, there's the katana. Looks like everything's dead there, barring some Pioneers who may be immune to the effects of it. ZQ does get shot down. Iron upgrades, more Fire Archers and Pioneers. Got quite a bit of infrastructure up here as well, so Green could go for some more Prosper Seeds up there. Dagon could try and save up some lightning weapons, not sure. More Samurai and Bushis in the build queue. Nope, and there's the Asura. And Green does go and resign. This is Grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay.